Wow.
Ghost of Christmas Past over here.
You know, though, you kind of sound like a gangster.
Like a New York gangster, or like I definitely don't sound to like.
I'm gonna make an offer you can't refuse.
Make you an offer you can't refuse.
It works too well.
You're gonna take this heroin bag and you can put it up your butthole. You're gonna get on a plane. You're gonna fly across the border, and if you don't, I'm gonna kill your sister. Yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Oh God.
It's actually super annoying because like I can't like impress to like a lot of people how hoarse I am, and all the projects I need to work on right now require my voice, and I don't have a voice, so it's very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I found this little baby. I don't know if you can see what that is.
Oh my God. Hard Baja Blast?
Yeah.
You getting drunk on this show?
I don't think I'm getting drunk.
You getting drunk? I think that's as close to scissorp as you could have before you actually make the mixture. It's like NyQuil and alcohol.
Yeah, it's not super great. I think primarily because it's zero sugar. I'm expecting something else. I don't know.
Sounds about right. So I was thinking we just do an odd show.
Totally fine.
Maybe not go as long just because my voice starts to really kill me after a while.
No, you're super cool with that.
You know what's so fucked up about this COVID hit though?
What?
It is literally 2 weeks prior to the 1 year anniversary of us having COVID last year.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we got COVID. We all three of us tested positive for COVID on Halloween. Now, 2 weeks prior to 1 week later, 1 year later, we all tested positive for COVID. I told my buddy Johnny this, and he was like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I got it last December. I don't want to have it again this Christmas." And I was like, he's like, "What if it just stays in you and comes back every year?" And I was like, I don't think that's what's going on, but
I don't know. There are sicknesses like that. I wouldn't be surprised if like a year from now there's some sort of like mutation to where it's like, surprise, you have forever COVID. Every 3 months you have it for 3 days.
I'll tell you what, man, this stuff will eventually get me then. Like, that'll be the stuff that gets me. Like, every October, people are going to be waiting around for November 1st. Did the forever COVID get Zach this time? Did it finally take him out? Every time it doesn't sound like, it sounds like he breathes less afterwards.
Time to get your fix. It's a horrible gaming podcast. It's not good, it's not great. Horrible gaming podcast. It's not even what you would call fair. It's really not that good. Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming, and you, dear listener, have chosen for whatever reason to tune into another Horrible Gaming Podcast. Now, we did not, if you are a regular listener, and you have been listening for a long time, you will have noticed that last week was one of the very rare exceptions that we just didn't post a podcast. Which, in fairness, in the almost 3 years since I've been doing this, I think I've only missed about 2 weeks. Yeah. Maybe 3, with us not putting something up. But we didn't put anything up last week. And I'm sure you're now gathering from the sound of my voice that it has something to do with that. Yes, myself and my family all got COVID again. Wonderful. Which has basically silenced the content coming out of our channel for about a week. Sorry about that, because basically it has silenced me. As you can hear, my voice is terrible. So, disclaimer, you're going to be listening to this the entire way. If you're somebody who just tuned in, hell of a show to tune in on. I don't normally sound like this. I don't normally sound like Marlon Brando post-COVID. I don't. But it is the way it is right now. So I'm hoping my voice clears up soon because I got to do a lot of narration projects, and I certainly ain't doing it like this. Sorry for the boast there. With me, because I am not alone, nor am I mostly never alone, with me is...
Neil, a.k.a. Tiny Wizard.
Neil covered for me 2 weeks ago when I just wasn't feeling up to it, which, God, I should have saved that one, huh? So
honestly, had I known it was this bad, like, I was like, oh, scratchy throat, oh, whatever, I'd have just, like, talked at the camera and just shot down and soloed.
Can I be 100% honest with you? There was no fucking way I was editing anything the day like Monday after. That's why I ended up saying no podcast, because I was still going to be like, drag my broken dead ass, because that was the day I tested positive, by the way. The day I tested positive. So shit. I was early in. Melissa got sick the week prior. Stella actually got sick and suffered symptoms this time. She tested positive Saturday, and my throat just started to get worse and worse over Saturday. Saturday night, full-blown everything. Chills, shakes, fever, full body pain, the whole throat thing, everything. A big headache. Sunday, I was just in pain all day. Just terrible pain. I was still going to drag my broken ass down here, and then it just dawned on me. I was like, can you go downstairs and coherently edit this? Like, it's one thing to sit in a chair and talk. Can you go downstairs and edit this the next day? The answer was an emphatic no. So there's no way I could have, like I was like, oh, I'm not even going to ask him to talk down camera because I would have to edit that shit. So there was just no way. There's no way. So we didn't do anything. But we're doing something today. We're going to play a little catch-up game. I have about 7 odds and ends. Hopefully I remember what the fuck they were. And they're still marginally relevant.
I'm sure we have some overlap.
I'm pretty sure Neil has got some odds and ends since we didn't do a show last week. And my voice is a little rough, so we might not go that long. We'll see. Everything's up in the air. But before we get into it, we got to thank the people that make it possible. Behind our ugly mugs, there's a nice picture that was provided by Mr. Mark Bell. He does all the custom artwork for us here at the show. And then the theme song for this show and all shows here at Old Man Gaming, provided by the man who makes the music, my brother Nick Van Siders. We thank him for that. And I am sorry again for my voice or the lack of air that I am able to produce when speaking. But we will be right back with fan interaction.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
All right, so that brings us to our first segment, our most important segment. That is fan interaction. That is where we, the co-hosts, talk to you guys, the fans. We talk to you about all the things that you write in all the places that we remember to look. So we only got 2 this week. That's totally fine. It's good for my voice. We got William Hohen. Hi! Exclamation point. Man, that early access meme is so good because it's so true. Laugh out loud. He's speaking about you shouting out a meme I posted.
Yeah.
I thank you for that. That's a funny meme.
Yeah.
The infinite in Halo Infinite stands for infinite mistakes. Hashtag boycott Halo. Thanks for the show. P.S. Everything sucks. Hashtag hooray Neil survived. He did survive. He did survive. Then we had Jason. I like the bad video game movies of the 90s and 2000s. I actually kind of like them too. I might be. I'm sorry. I will. There is any day and time when you come to me and say, I want to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. There is never a time when I'm going to say no to that. I will watch that start to finish, if for nothing else than just the question that enters my head, which is, a writer played the original game and then decided that that original game meant that movie. And that is like I want to meet that guy. I think that they should take his brain when he dies and like examine it, because there is something that translates information in a very different way than anything else I've seen.
You know, since you just brought it up, I know we're supposed to like kind of keep on topic because of your voice, but
oh, it's okay.
What do you think about the Mario Brothers? The Mario trailer.
Oh yeah, I heard you guys talking about it. It was very funny. I do want to say, because I wasn't here last week to say this, and I will answer the Mario thing, but I'm going to digress off your digression. I want to thank Kayla for two big things. Number one, stepping in last minute when Neil did not warn her in any way, shape, or form that she was stepping in. I appreciate you, Kayla. Thank you so much for stepping in for me. And I was just taking a mental health day that day, but I thank you for that. And number two, for returning proof to me that there are sane people on the face of this fucking planet. Subway is not fast food.
Oh my
Thank you
God.
so much, Kayla. I was like, when I was listening to it back, I was like hooting and hollering in my basement because I was like, thank you. I was started to feel like I was on crazy pills. So thank you, Kayla. Thank you. Now on to the Mario thing. You see what I did there? I digressed there so that we can't fight the Subway war again.
Yes.
So on the Mario thing, I actually liked the trailer overall. I didn't like the Chris Pratt thing. Okay, first of all, the world has a problem with Chris Pratt. I don't understand that problem. I think the dude's a good actor. I enjoy his movies. That being said, he kind of promised us that he was going to do this cool Mario voice, and it's just Chris Pratt doing a Chris Pratt voice. So that was a little irritating to me. Again, I like Star-Lord. I like Chris Pratt. I don't have a problem with him. I don't understand why everybody does, but he's kind of like, it's in to hate him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That being said, I don't know why, I don't know why he went out and said, I'm going to do a great Mario voice, and then just did his own voice. The thing that I do want to give props to is Bowser. Jack Black's Bowser was phenomenal. I forgot Jack Black was playing Bowser. And when I was watching the trailer, I was like, who is playing Bowser? They are doing a phenomenal Bowser. Like, that sounds great. It didn't sound like Jack Black at all. It was like he was doing an actual voice. And then, I looked it up. I was like, damn, that's Jack Black. Jack Black put some work in on that. And I appreciate that. The movie itself looks fine so far. The Chris Pratt, it's a weird situation because I'm not going to jump on the Chris Pratt hate wagon. But at the same time, he did kind of say right after he got this role, everybody was like, why is Chris Pratt doing this? Why don't they have Charles Martinet in it? And he was like, it's okay, guys. I'm going to do a really good Mario voice. And then he didn't do it. I don't know. I will say I can't wait for Charlie Day to play Luigi, though. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just me. I cannot wait for Charlie Day to play Luigi. I can't wait. I feel like Charlie Day is a physical manifestation of an adult Luigi in real life. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I've never understood the whole Chris Pratt hate thing too. I think that he's a good actor. It's just like you said, he's just Chris Pratt Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
In a Mario suit, basically.
And I wouldn't even mind that if he I want to give context to everybody because like I said, I don't mind when celebrity guys necessarily get put in. I kind of get the notion that, hey, you've got a voice actor. Why don't you have the voice actor do it? I don't necessarily agree with that in this situation because Charles Martinet does not actually voice act Mario. He voice acts him, but it's just like hoo-hoos and hee-hees and all of that. I don't feel like we're losing anything from Mario on that aspect. What I don't like is that right after Chris Pratt got announced at it, everybody was like, why the fuck is Chris Pratt voicing Mario? That's terrible. And Chris Pratt went on Twitter and said, I'm working with Charles Martinet to do a different voice. I'm actually like going to like try and do a special Mario voice. Why did you say that? Like, why didn't you just be like, yeah, I'm Mario, suck it up? Like, because you promised this like weird voice. That's what kind of got me. It's like, I don't care that Chris Pratt's Mario. I don't care at all. Like, what bothers me is like if somebody were to do like an animated movie of a game that has very clear and obvious voice acting.
Like, if they did a Metal Gear Solid and David Hayter wasn't...
Right. Yeah. Or, like, if they did an animated movie of Uncharted and Nolan North wasn't Drake.
Yeah.
And then they got Chris Pratt to do that. Or somebody else. Like, that kind of thing. Like, then I would get offended. But like I said, Charles Martinet... He just does, like, all Mario says is sound effects, except for, like, 64, but those were still also kind of like, it's me, Mario, da-da-da-da. Like,
that's, yeah.
I think in his entire career, spanning 42 games, he's had, like, 3 spoken lines?
So, like 20 words total.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that Chris Pratt came out and said that he was going to have this special voice, and then he didn't. So, I don't know. But again, I don't really have anything against Chris Pratt doing it. If the movie itself is good, and it gives Mario people what they want, and it gives moviegoers what they want, I don't care who's doing the voice, as long as everybody's like happy with it. If Charles Martinet is obviously very happy with this, he's still voicing a bunch of roles in the movie. He's listed in the credits. So, like, it's not like he has a problem with this. So, like, for me, it doesn't really bother me. What bothers me is that he was like, I'm going to do a Mario voice. And then he was like, hi, I'm Chris Pratt, but now I'm Mario. And I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
I did think it was funny they kept calling him Charles Martinet.
Huh?
I did think it was funny you kept calling him Charles Martinet.
I do it by it's accident. It's total accident. Total accident. So anyway, as far as that's it for fan interaction. I do want to say, what are you playing right now, man?
So I have been playing Breath of the Wild again, a little bit here and there.
Really?
But I did see that Sonic Adventure 2 went on sale on Steam for a grand total of $2.50 the other day, so really? I definitely picked that up. God help you if you try and play that game at 60 frames a second.
Oh, no.
Oh, my sweet Christ. The very opening, the city escape with Sonic is impossible. It is physically impossible. You are moving at light speed through everything.
Gotta go fast, baby. Gotta go fast.
Way too fast. I was just like, I have to not right now, because I was looking at my display settings and everything like that, and I was like, ooh, you can run it at 60. Okay, sure, I'll run it at 60. And it looked great until you started doing things, and it was just god awful. So bad. You're just like bouncing off of walls, smashing through cars.
Insanity. Weirdly, you just segued into something that I finally did. Well, I didn't do it. A friend of mine, my sister-in-law purchased me an HDMI cable for my Dreamcast.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. It was a real high-low sort of situation.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Because I turned it on, which was the first time in 20 years I've turned on my Dreamcast. Only to find out none of my games work anymore.
Oh no!
My original Sonic Adventure, which is a very sought after and hard to find game, like the English version of Sonic Adventure on Sega Dreamcast, sells for like $70. Which isn't like the highest of high end, but it's not easy to find.
For an older game, that's high end.
It's too scratched up. The system won't recognize the disc.
Did you do the toothpaste thing?
I haven't done the toothpaste thing. What's the toothpaste thing?
So it cannot be abrasive toothpaste. You'll have to look it up to make sure that you're doing it right. But if you take and you smear a light layer of the toothpaste on the disc and wipe it off across, not in like a circular pattern, the toothpaste will fill in the scratches.
Really?
Yeah, and make it so it can be read. Now, it's not foolproof. You can still get hung up in spots, freezing crashes when you're trying to load later on, but it can potentially work.
I have to try it. Actually, I encountered a completely different problem with it that I was not aware. So apparently, some of the Dreamcast games actually have a built-in limit to what you can play them on resolution-wise. Even if you have an adapter or a trick for it. Yeah, which is a real bummer because some of them are good ones, like Skies of Arcadia. You can only play that on an old tube TV. If you try to plug in the AV cables, if you try and plug in an HDMI adapter to the AV cables, it basically says you get an error that says this game will not allow you to play with those AV cables. Plug in your old AV cables before you can play it.
That is weird.
I had to go online because then I went up to CD Exchange and I got another game, brought it home, had the same problem. So I had to go online and find a list. There's roughly like 50 games out of the 100 and some that they made that you can't play. You cannot play an HDMI.
That is so weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's like 5. I think it's like, I want to say like 20 that are like no go, nothing you can do. Then there's a bunch of other ones that you can like rip it and then fuck with the source code to allow it. But I don't rip any of my games. I buy them straight up. So, yeah. There's a bunch of them that I have to consult this list to even see if I can play them on my Dreamcast on a TV. Or I need to find a tube TV. Good to fuck luck, right?
Right. Jeez. Mm-hmm. Who would have thought that we'd still be looking for tube TVs?
I know, it's crazy. As far as what I'm playing, weirdly I got into Dead by Daylight. Don't know. I actually streamed it once. And then I also started playing Marvel Snap, which I am doing a review of it, which will already be out if you're listening to this or watching this. And you're definitely dealing with Horse Zach voice on that one, but I didn't want to be behind on that since it just came out. Mm-hmm. And they are interesting games. Snap is fun, but as you'll find out from my review, it's nothing Marvel about it. Like, other than the artwork. Like the core concept of the game could be anything. Like, I feel like the guy who wrote it came up with a cool idea for a card game and then just tried to find a company that would bite on the idea for the card game. And Marvel was the guys who did. Because there's nothing like if you're looking for that flavor of Marvel, you don't get it. You just, it's weird. It's hard to explain.
Man, that kind of sucks.
It does.
Like, I feel like it's
a good card game.
Yeah, I almost feel like a lot of card games are that, though. Like, if you were to slap whatever on it, like, it could be, it could be whatever, branding of whatever it is. It's not very often that you have something that feels like it's, like, unique to that.
When I play Pokemon with Stella, because she just got into the Pokemon actual card game. When I play Pokemon with Stella, it feels like I'm putting Pokemon out to fight her Pokemon. Yeah. And when I play Magic the Gathering, it feels like I'm summoning things and casting spells to defeat my enemies. Same with Hearthstone. Whereas with this, there's nothing Marvel. It doesn't feel Marvel-y. It just feels like I'm because it's a very weirdly locationally strategic sort of game, and it's a good game. Mm-hmm. It's just if you're looking for like, I want my Carnage to take on your Wolverine, it's not that. It's not that. All right, well, we've gone really long on a fan traction with only 2 comments, so we're just gonna come back with a really long odds and ends, call it a show, and try and get through them.
Alrighty.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
All right, so that brings us to basically the rest of the show. Like I said, we're just going to do an odds and ends to give my throat a break. Getting another cough drop right now since my Coke has been finished. All right, so we're going to start on this one. Start negative. Probably good, I guess. So it's come out now. It's come out now. More bullshit from Activision Blizzard. Apparently, it's come out that they have evidence that the Raven workers that were in the process of unionizing were purposely withheld raises that everybody else got as a response to them unionizing, or a more of a dissuading factor to them unionizing. And the labor board, I think, is pissed about this. I'm not sure. Like I said, I wrote this one down 2 weeks ago. So there's a lot of things about this Activision Blizzard thing that that's got a lot of people in hot water. I think it's actually going to lead into some of the other odds and ends that I have, specifically around the Overwatch 2 launch. I mean, we also are dealing with the FCC, who are... It's not looking good for Activision Blizzard Microsoft. Microsoft is under a lot of fire. PlayStation has actually kind of stepped in and started to basically say, fuck them. They shouldn't be doing this. This is like them buying Activision Blizzard is terrible for gaming, which has led Microsoft to like basically call out to people to like start a campaign for this to go through, because there is a lot of things kind of mounting against this deal now, which is good. It's good, people. And I know it doesn't sound good because you probably want Call of Duty in Game Pass, and I get that. But at the same time, I want to remind everything that Microsoft doing this bails out Activision Blizzard from any repercussions over the terrible, horrible shit that they've been doing to people for years and years and years. Right back to this labor union thing, holding raises when a group is trying to fundamentally unionize. Not to mention all the sexual harassment, human rights shit, just the terrible laundry list of terrible shit that Activision does on a regular basis. That's what Microsoft does by buying them. They bail them out, and they definitely seize control of gaming. And while in the interim we get Call of Duty and stuff like this on Game Pass, great for you Game Pass users in the interim. But what it also does is it shuts down competition. And the more that one company owns gaming, it's worse for the players, because at that point, they don't need to compete anymore. Then they can charge us whatever they want for Game Pass. They can charge us whatever they want for games, because they'll own them all. And that's a big problem.
Yeah, the excuse that was given as to why it is that they didn't get raises was a bunch of bullshit, as we have come to expect with Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh, there are legal reasons why we couldn't offer these. It was a lot of QA testers is what it was, I believe. There were legal reasons as to why they didn't get offered raises, but it was like hint, hint, nudge, nudge, because it was like, as a result of their unionization, we just wanted to give them these raises so badly, but oh man, they went and unionized. There's nothing we could do about it.
Yeah.
Oh man, doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
Like, come off it. Like, at this point, the optics of everything as it is already bad enough. You know, there's no way they were going to be able to spin that one way or another. They could have come out with legal proof and released like a highlighted legal document of the reasons as to why it is that they weren't able to get these raises, and it would still look bad on them. At this point, Activision Blizzard just cannot, no matter what they do, it's bad.
Yeah.
Even things that are quote unquote good are everything they touch turns to shit at this point because everybody hates them so much at this point.
It's hard. The other thing is, too, it's real hard to buy that you had legal reasons that you couldn't give them raises when you're literally breaking the law repeatedly with your other hand. So it's very hard for us to be like, okay, so you're going to follow the law when you don't have to give those people money when they're trying to unionize, but it's totally cool to break the law over here when it means people's lives and people's livelihoods. Great. Like, why would we buy that for a fucking hot second?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like any of this situation. And you know what? I'm just going to go into to two more of my odds and ends. This will be weirdly unbalanced because it's a good segue. I think this leads into my next odd, which is Overwatch 2 had a real rough start, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. And it had a rough start for two reasons. One, more shady shit that the company does, which we'll get into. But the other reason was they were attacked by a DDoS attack on launch day, severe DDoS attacks. And basically, I tried to research this. It's kind of hard to understand. But basically what a DDoS is, they buy a bunch of burner phones, then they log into the server with the burner phones, and even though they're not playing anything, they just keep logging in with these. They set up a bot to repeatedly log in, and then it blocks people from getting in. It skyrockets the queue times. It does a whole bunch of like boots and breaks because basically you overload the server with a bunch of like bots from burner phones, basically. With a DDoS, it's just like overloaded traffic. It could be with phones, computers, anything like that. DDoS attacks are like a relatively common form of cyber attack. Yeah, but I want to point out who's getting cyber attacked. I mean, how many DDoS attacks have we seen, like, of this kind of size, you know?
Yeah. Well, I also find it a little... Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm not done. I was just saying, you gotta wonder. I was pausing for you to speak, because I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic, too, because I don't know if this was, like, a part of what it is that you saw, or if you were going to go into this part next, but... they caught a bunch of shit too that basically you could only play Overwatch 2 if you had a smartphone.
Marking it off.
So basically, long story short, they like made you register via like your phone number, and they said it was like some bullshit about like to cut down on cheating or some shit like that. But to do that, you had to at least have a smartphone, and a smartphone of a certain age, basically, that supported this authentication feature. So if somebody was in a lower income household or something that didn't have access to something like that, or like a newer smartphone, or only had a flip phone, or didn't even have a cell phone, let's say you only had a home phone, guess what? You don't get to play Overwatch 2. It's
no matter how much you played that first one. Yeah.
No matter how much you played the first one. And the people, it just gets better, too, because the people who are jumping in with 2 have to grind for the characters that were available in the first one.
Yep.
It's stupid. It is actively fucking stupid.
Well, I'm going to take the flip side. I don't want to give you my fucking phone number. I get enough fucking shit, bullshit traffic, bullshit fucking telemarketer crap, bots calling me, every other goddamn thing. I don't want to give the most corrupt company on the fucking planet my fucking phone number. I don't want to do that to play your goddamn stupid game. I have games out there that I love. I don't give them my phone number. Ubisoft continually, every time I log into their ship, two-step verification? No, thank you. Sit and spin. You're not getting my phone number. I don't want you on my phone. And it's not even because I necessarily think they're going to do something nefarious. I think that they're going to sell it to people to add me. And I don't want any more spam. I don't need any more spam. Like, the fact that we have to give you your phone number so that you can sell our phone number to other companies so that they can try and sell me roofing is fucking obnoxious and stupid. And so, like, it's two levels. It's targeting low-income stuff and saying, hey, we don't care about you because you don't have enough money for us to care about you. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, it's like, hey, you have enough money. We care about you so much. We want to bother you all the time and sell your information. It's insane. It's insane to me. And I tell you, I'm surprised at anybody who's playing it because of that. Personally.
Yeah, well, they had since this all broke, they've walked it back. And, oh, well, no, that wasn't our intention, this, that, and the other. And, like, I just don't understand, like, what the rationale in the first place was. Like, I would love for them to explain, like, the individual who came up with that idea. So it's like, so how exactly does having my phone number tamp down on cheaters?
Right.
Like, I just need to know that. I need to know how that works. Like, what you think I'm smurfing or, you know, something like that. Like, and even still, what the fuck would my phone number have to do with anything? Right. You don't need my phone number for this.
No.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that they were, like, confused and had to walk it back. Well, we just don't understand. Oh, why is everybody so upset? Oh, we just want your phone number. What can we do with that? It's not what you could do with it, even.
It's bad enough. We gotta fucking give them an email and sign up for an account.
And birth dates and everything like that.
Sign up for an account that we're paying $60 for the game. Well, this one is free to play, but still, you know what I mean.
One hack is all it takes. And every single time, more and more and more and more personal information is needed for this sort of stuff. Yep. Like, we already have to give up enough personal information just to use our smart device to begin with,
right?
For just our smart device, let alone have every single app and individual that we interact with need our phone number and social security number and this, that, and the other. It's a little overboard. And I'm just beyond the fact that they even wanted your phone number.
There is no reason for it other than them using it for third-party, like, bots and platforms. I'm going to tell you right now, you know what? I might get in trouble. I don't care. I got in to the Skull and Bones Insider Program. Okay?
Oh, no.
I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm not even supposed to say I'm in it according to the email, but whatever. I got into it, okay? I'm going to say this. I didn't need any of that shit to get into their NDA covered super secret insider program. I didn't need a phone number. I needed an email address. Okay, fair enough. But, like, are you kidding me? And you need my phone number for me to be able to play the game? That's insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely insane. All right, well, I'm now down to just 4. So.
All right, well, speaking of insane, ridiculous, and crazy corporate capitalistic shenanigans.
Keep it going.
Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Is that another one of yours?
Yeah, that one was the one I thought we'd have crossover on because you're a Final Fantasy guy.
Yeah. They are shutting down the Battle Royale. That first soldier, it's shutting down in January. It only made it just over a year, barely, due to early access. Basically, they said, oh, it's just, we haven't gotten the engagement that we wanted with it. Well, no fucking shit. It's a battle royale based around Final Fantasy VII that's on your fucking phone. What do you, that's a niche.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I didn't even know it was out. Like, their marketing campaign for that was non-existent as far as I'm concerned.
I think I saw one ad for it in a game show last year.
Yeah, I remember.
And that was it.
I remember the announcement of it. I didn't even know it was here yet. I would have tried it. I like battle royales. The fact that you only put it on mobile too without putting it on PC or anything is a little insane, in my opinion.
And honestly, since we're burning through odds anyways, I'll just grab the next one. Sure. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, apparently they're making an official board game based off of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm not sure what the fuck that's supposed to be. But they're doing it. I don't understand the idea, like, what Final Fantasy even is anymore. Like, it used to be one and done. 7 came along, it was super popular, but still one and done. And then 10 rolls around. And they're like, you know what? Let's just try to make a sequel. And it didn't go very well. And if you know anything about the story between Final Fantasy X and X-2, X-2 was just batshit shenanigans. At the end of the game, basically, the whole game is predicated on, oh, that guy really looks like Titus, but it's not him. Like, that's it. And then, you know, they tried their hand at an MMO with 11, and we had 12. And then somewhere in
popular.
that...
I remember that.
What? 11 was popular. Yeah. But somewhere in that period of time, they went and did the movie. They did the PSP game that we're now getting a remake of for Final Fantasy VII on both of those. The Dirge Cerberus shooter. And then they did 3 Final Fantasy 13s. 14 had to fail and get restarted completely from the ground up. 15 was going to be 13 verses and took 10 years to come out. But then they want to have Final Fantasy VII, the remake, ? Who knows if it's actually real, ... Surprise, it is real after we fucked around for a couple years. And now it's actually coming out. And now they're just back in it again with more Final Fantasy VII shit. I get it. It's a popular Final Fantasy game. I don't think it needs the treatment that it's getting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's popular. It's making them money, so they're going to keep moving on it. What'd you say they were making of it? A board game now, you said?
It's a board game now that they're making.
You know what's weird to me about the board game thing? Is that a lot of these games get the, like, board game treatment, you know?
Yeah.
Skyrim recently got one. Do you know how much that board game is?
It's probably like $90 or something, I think.
It's like $110, if I recall correctly.
That's ridiculous. Oh my god.
You can just buy Skyrim and play Skyrim, and you know what Skyrim is? It's fully immersible. Like, you could just play it, and then everything plays around you. You don't have to, like, spend 40 minutes clearing off your dining room table and then, like, setting up the board and then finding all the tokens and sorting all the tokens and then getting 2 to 3 more people to want to deal with this game with you, and then you know the playtime, because all these hobby games are like, hey, I hope you had the entire Saturday free because this is all you're doing. So spend 6 hours with you playing Skyrim on a board game when, hey, just an idea. Spend $50 because it's eternally $50, and just buy it on literally any digital medium and play it. It's so weird to me, these kind of board game things, and they sell like gangbusters. The Dark Souls had one too, and it's just they're always more expensive than the game was. I don't know. It's very confusing to me.
It really is.
Speaking of board games.
Oh, moving right along.
We're going to do a little segue, kind of, because this is the board game in between. This is the digital kind of board game, miniature game, Moonbreaker, that we were all really excited about.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks ass. They
didn't get a chance to play it.
They did a bunch of microtransactions. The game itself was good. They did some really cool painting aspects in it, but all of the like figures are gotten through loot boxy ways, like straight loot boxy ways too. Which it's miniatures, so I kind of get that. But then what they did was they capped the amount you could play the thing to earn more loot boxes.
that is the biggest bullshit thing that they can do with any sort of microtransaction fueled game.
And what bothers me the most about this is, okay, you got some shitty microtransactions in there, so the game's free, right? You know how much this game costs?
Oh God, $40.
$30.
Oh,
and then $30 isn't the most, but still, what the fuck, man? If you want all these microtransactions, I don't know. They've only had one game prior, and I've said it repeatedly. It's the same with CD Projekt Red, that we all like. They were the next messiahs, even though they had only ever done one good game. But I expected more out of the company that created Subnautica. I just did.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer to me. So I probably will not be playing it or purchasing it. So yeah, bummer.
Well, speaking of bummers, I'm sure everyone's heard at this point. G4 TV is shutting down officially. Yeah. Less than a year after relaunching. And the worst part about it is ain't nobody know shit about it until it was officially announced. Gerard, the completionist, he actually found out right then and there as the announcement was made. He made a tweet saying...
So did Xavier Woods, the wrestler, because he was talking about it on Up, Up, Down, Down, Battle of the Bands. He was like, I was on a plane. And they were like, guess what? You don't work here anymore.
And not to get too into this part of it, but I mean, Adam Sessler did not take it very well. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that. I would like to know what happened because I love Adam Sessler.
God, it kind of made me. It made me think twice about him. He went on like a full Twitter tirade meltdown.
Okay.
Basically, like attacking people when they mentioned anything about anything, and he's like bringing people's moms into it and shit, and like, yeah, I get it, like, you
attacking people for what though?
For like saying shit about G4 shutting down, and then he was getting pissy about it, and they were then reacting to him being pissy, and then it just escalated so much so that apparently he had to like stop and talk to his therapist in the middle of everything. You can go on
So he was defending the shutdown?
No, he was upset about the shutdown.
Okay.
And then people, Twitter's gonna Twitter. And then, of course, he reacted to people reacting, and it just kept escalating.
I'd like to know more, because I don't know. Like,
just to save everybody time, just search for Adam Sessler Twitter in Google to find his Twitter page, and then if you look in like the news stories tab, the article that I found this out about really breaks it down.
That's interesting, because I would think, he wasn't running it from what I understand.
No, he wasn't running or anything like that, no.
So I don't know why he'd defend it at all. I don't know why people would get pissed at him.
No, he wasn't defending the shutdown. It was just like him reacting to the shutdown. Let me see. See if I can find where it was.
Like, I want to know what he said that would make you be like, I don't know about him anymore.
Alright, let me see here.
Because I feel like he couldn't have said anything worse than anything I say on a regular episode of this show.
Let me see here.
And you keep coming back here.
Are you serious? I can't keep looking at Twitter because I don't have a Twitter.
Okay, alright. Why don't you do another one while I look for it?
Basically, yeah, I can see some of the stuff. Let's see here. One of the things, big shout out tonight to those that ran G4 TV for making my life more miserable than usual when I had barely been working for them in the first place. Somewhere it says something about I can only see half of it. He's talking shit about somebody's mom, like tweeting at them for saying something. But yeah, you can pull it up here. I cannot believe that Twitter is this stupid that I can't look at Twitter if I don't have a Twitter. But yeah, anyways, I'll go ahead and burn another one while you're looking at this.
Yeah, he's got some posts on here where he's upset.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's this other one here that kind of made the rounds not too long ago. Helena Taylor, the original voice actress for Bayonetta, is not coming back for Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
Because apparently there was some kerfuffle about her pay. This has been a story that has evolved since it first broke. Originally, the story was that she was only offered $4,000 to come back for the part. $4,000 in total, that is all. That said, there is now evidence being presented that she was actually offered $4,000 per 4-hour session, with at least 5 sessions, possibly more, requested to do recordings. So basically Platinum is like, no, that is a flat out lie. Here are the receipts. And she still stands by her original argument. So it is a he said, she said. She has, made a video, which of course, she's like, people train for this, doing this type of work. It's not just, you can't just grab any schmo off the street and said, hey, read these lines and you're the person now. But at the same time, she of course deserves to be paid fair wage for it. But I don't know how true it is or isn't that is the whole story, because as it said, like, there's more evidence coming out that she was actually offered more than just the standard 4,000. Maybe it was a miscommunication or something along those lines, but it turned into kind of a contentious thing for a hot minute, where everybody was on one side of the issue or another. So yeah.
I had seen some of this. It to me it kind of looked like somewhere along the line somebody had miscommunicated something, because she seemed to very clearly understand what she was being offered, and Platinum seemed to very clearly be pointing out that she was offered more. I think that there is something to be said about, hey, this is the third game you're doing in a series of a highly anticipated, highly regarded game. Bayonetta is something people have wanted for a long time. Mm-hmm. So I mean, a pay increase would be warranted. That would be the time when you would negotiate it. If Platinum didn't want to pay what she wanted, I get that. But it sounds more like somebody somewhere along the line failed to communicate to the other one. You know what I mean?
Right.
That being said, and this is a devil's advocate play here, but you're in a industry that does not guarantee work. Yeah. You can only really work if the company wants you to work and is willing to pay what you want. Now, that doesn't mean that she should take less. That doesn't mean that she should take less than what she feels she's worth. But at the same time, Platinum has no, like, they don't need to bring you back. If they want to pay, this is the amount we're willing to offer you. If she doesn't want to take that, she's well within her rights, but she's not going to get the job. You know, that's just the way that industry works. So it's kind of hard to, like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a miscommunication somewhere along the line, because I feel like if this had been communicated appropriately, we wouldn't be seeing angry messages from either side. It would be, they offered me this, I wanted this, they couldn't give it to me, I moved on. and then everybody would be fine with it. But right now it seems like there's a he said, she said thing, which seems to me like somewhere somebody said something to somebody's agent. That agent did not communicate the correct thing to a person, and somehow, somewhere along the line, somebody said something wrong,
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to go on ahead.
Yeah, I actually have added a couple since we started doing this, just so you know.
Okay.
We'll go with this one. No Man's Sky 4.0 is on Switch. No Man's Sky is officially on Switch. I have a kind of a hard time with the No Man's Sky being on Switch because they are charging $50 for it again.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird to me. It's weird. I'm kind of at odds about it because, part of me is it's like, how are you charging $50? This came out in 2016. How are you charging $50 for this to release it on Switch? And then there's another part of me. The other part of me is they're giving you every DLC they've ever made for the game for free, just like everyone else. And I think it should be worth $50 that they were just able to put that fucking thing on Switch. So I'm kind of at odds with myself about it. You know what I mean? Part of me is it's worth it. And then another part of me is it's not worth it. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Still, other than that $50 price tag to Switch, from what I hear, it performs pretty well on Switch. And you're still going to get every DLC that they ever make for free, which is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
That game just keeps going, and they've even said that they're not done yet. The tail end on that game just blows me away. And the fact that they don't have any loot boxes, microtransactions, or premium currencies, I'm shocked.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that's a rare thing anymore.
Yeah,
because everything now has to be loot boxes and premium this and all hat in hand. How are we supposed to make the monies? You only buy the game once and that's it. Oh no! Especially for a relatively smaller team like that too.
And what blows me away is I just at this point I would expect a premium currency or something. I wouldn't even be mad about it. I mean, you've released 20 DLCs in the course of the last 6 years. You're still making stuff for it. All those DLCs have been free. You've only ever had the $50 price tag, and you can get it on Game Pass. How are they even making their money on that?
Right.
I really want to see their accounting logs for that, and I want them to then show that to every other company on the planet. This is how you do it. Yeah,
you can do it. Stop being a fuck.
Stop being fucks. This is how you do it. Are you done with odds and ends, or
I have one more?
Okay, I'll do another one. I'll do another one then, since I've got a couple.
Okay.
More. So I'll save it down. I have a positive thing to say about CD Projekt Red.
Oh.
Positive thing came out. I'm very happy about this. I don't get to say this often because I hate that company and I hate everything they did with Cyberpunk. However, they've come through in the wake of the Stadia going down, Stadia burning. They have actually released a way. They figured out a way to move your save data to a different place, to PC, to console, to somewhere else. So they actually came through. So anybody who bought Cyberpunk on Stadia, who put the time in on Stadia, you're not going to lose your save data. Go check out CD Projekt Red. I think it's on their webpage. They have detailed instructions on how to move your save data off that platform now that it's dying. Way to go, CD Projekt Red. I do not get to say this often because I hate you. I hate all your CEOs and everything you fuckers stand for. But even I am willing to admit when you do something good, and you did something good here for actual consumers for no extra dollars. So,
yeah, same went for the Red Dead. I think we talked about this not too long ago. There was a guy who had 6,000 hours in Red Dead Online. He's going to be able to move his stuff too.
Oh, I didn't hear that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, he's going to be able to move his stuff too. So that's awesome.
That's really awesome. And companies coming through for those people on Stadia, trapped on Stadia. That's really awesome. That's a good way to get some good PR right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. The only other one I want to talk about is Gotham Knights. So if you want to talk about yours first or second, that's fine with me.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and do the Gotham Knights thing, because boy howdy.
Gotham Knights is a train wreck, ladies and gentlemen. It is a train wrecky train wreck. I wanted to talk about this last week. Obviously, we didn't do a show. But you know you're in trouble when IGN, which is the most dick-sucky company when it comes to previews there is like half of their preview is like, this isn't very good. You know you're in trouble when they're like, combat's kind of boring in our 10-minute hands-on preview. Like, it's boring after 10 minutes. That's the trouble. But Gotham Knights has come out. It is a train wreck. It's 5s and 4s across the board out of 10s. And then to make matters worse, on console, it barely even reaches 30 frames per second. They had originally announced that it'd be locked at 30 frames per second on console, which was a big hit against them right there anyway, because there's no performance mode for your Series X and your PS5s. There's no performance mode whatsoever, but they said it'd be locked at 30. It doesn't even make 30 half the time. And when you're like, if you're driving on a road or something, it just drops right off. Then to add in the fact, if you do, I want a high performance, I'll play it on PC. The PC requirements for this game are astronomical, man. I don't know. Like, my PC, which is not top of the line, but it's still a damn good PC, I think it could barely run that fucking thing. They're ridiculous. Their specs are crazy for this game that, like, only runs at 30 frames per second on console. Like, train wreck. The game is not optimized. It's rough. It's buggy. From what I understand, the combat's super repetitive. It's just a train wreck. Train wreck, hands down. Which is sad, because I mean that's real scar on an otherwise great franchise.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what the specs are. It's probably to run it at a decent frame rate. It has to be.
I can't remember what they are offhand, but I remember that the headline for IGN was Gotham Knights reveals their PC specs and they are rough. That's the headline. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up here. Recommended. Yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah, for a recommended, your CPU, you're looking at an Intel i7 10700K or Ryzen 5 5600. I don't even have.
Recommended. I got a 5600. I have a 5600. That's the. So it's running, but that's recommended though, everybody. That's not even like if you want it to run nice. That's like, this is what you need bare minimum for recommended.
Yeah, RTX 2070. I don't even have a 2070. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like me and Phil's PC could run it, but it'd be chugging. And that's kind of crazy to me that a game this crappy is like that.
Yeah, those are just for that's 60 FPS at 1080 on just standard high settings.
Yeah, you can't even get the 4K out of that, which I don't have 4K, but like,
right.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, this game is a train wreck. It's not optimized. It is a train wreck. So yeah, I want to see what the sales are on it at the end of the day.
Well, then rounding out is one final train wreck.
Yeah, let's do it.
GameStop.
Oh no.
Now, I don't know if you've seen this or not yet.
I don't know.
This is a doozy. After this, like that, I don't know how much longer, I don't know how much longer GameStop is going to be around. GameStop is selling tons of weird shit now. Like, it was already kind of knick-knacky and like, sure why you're selling TVs, but I guess I kind of get it because it like kind of goes back to gaming to some degree. So according to the GameStop Reddit, employees have submitted pictures of shit that has come in their shipments. These items include a toddler ball popper toy, the thing that, you know, you stand up and push and it pops the balls around in the bottom of it. An algebra tile set, a kit that turns a lemon into a clock, as well as a shower heater holder, and vent clips that hold dipping sauces in your car. Also, there is report of diapers as well, but there was no photo evidence of that one. What the fuck, man?
Dude,
what?
We're totally wrong. We're totally wrong with what they're going to do to survive. It's not going to be retro games. It's not going to be delivery. It's not going to be hardware. They're just going to become Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Slowly become a weird tchotchke store.
Yeah.
That sometimes has gift cards and video games. Wow. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. There's nothing else to say about that one.
I literally, so it's weird too, because like I've always been all about like I've always pre-ordered my games through GameStop, everything like that, and I still have yet to put in my order for God of War Ragnarok. And I was like, I'm probably gonna go do that one of these here, and I'm like, wait, I can just do it on Amazon. And it's the first time that I've thought about pre-ordering a game, and it wasn't done like at a store. It's like it's the first time I've thought about doing it online as opposed to going to a GameStop. And it's just like, god damn, I don't understand what the fuck it is that they're trying to do. I just don't.
I don't get it at all. I don't get it at all. All right, man. Well, you want to wrap this sucker up?
Yes.
My throat is starting to get to me. All right, we'll be right back with them plugs.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show. Shameless self-promotion that comes with it. Neil, would you like to plug anything?
Well, I'll be out here playing Chad Rover on UHW. Outside of that, I feel like once you've recovered, we may have an idea for what it is that we're going to do for our next stream with Kayla, which I feel that'll be a good idea. And then, you know, because apparently my computer is just dumb, we'll have to figure out what it is that we're going to end up doing for a Let's Play again for you and I. But that back burner on that one. We'll wait till you get your voice back before we start talking about that.
If Gotham Knights had been good, I'd say that, but it's not. So no.
Yeah.
I will say UHW did take a week off this last week because obvious. I haven't posted anything anywhere basically. Hopefully this clears up and I can get back to work, because I have a lot of narration projects coming up that I would like to plug but can't plug yet. I I want to get back on the Wizard's Respite stuff, but I can't, obviously, in my current situation. But yeah, we should be getting back to content this week. I'm definitely getting back into the reviews, though a lot of them are going to be independent or older ones. But Marvel Snap's review is up already. Go check that out if you want to see what I thought of the most recent Marvel digital collectible card game. Other than that, again, thank you to Kayla for covering for me 2 weeks ago and remembering that Subway is not fast food. And with that said, we will be back next week. You can contact us on Facebook at Omega. You know what? You know the things. My voice is shot. I'm going to call it a day. You guys keep watching, listening. We'll keep making them. We'll see you guys next week. Pause.
Yeah, had I known it was this bad, you could have asked me to just do a solo thing here.
The thing is unless I asked you to basically just stream it, I would have had to edit it or put it up in some capacity. And I didn't have it. I didn't get out of bed Monday.
I'm talking this. I'm talking like this week. You're still rough.
Oh, this week. Yeah, I am kind of rough this week. But I got to start getting into stuff. I can't let my channel go for 2 weeks. I don't know if you've known me, if you've gotten to know me over this last 3 years, but I kind of can't stop moving. I'm like a fucking salmon, like just swimming upstream to my eventual death. Like I have to keep going, especially with my stupid bullshit projects that make me $0 and only cause me pain, anguish, and my family pain and anguish. I have to keep doing it. If I stop doing this, like 2 weeks without content on Old Man Gaming, good God, I might as well just go outside and shoot myself in the head. Like, it would be tantamount to that. I'd just be crazy. Melissa would divorce me because I'd just be nuts all the time. Yeah, so I got to do stuff. Anybody who ever wonders why I have insomnia, what insomnia is like, that's basically what it's like. It's like you decide, hey, I'm tired, I'm going to go to sleep. And your brain decides, no, we're going to think about every mistake you've ever made in your entire life simultaneously with everything you should be doing right now but aren't getting done. And then we're also going to pile in there somehow all the things that you haven't thought of yet that you're just going to pop into your fucking head at 1 a.m. That's when I get insomnia the worst, is when I cannot turn my brain off.
One of two things happens with me when I lay down to go to bed. Either I just like pass the fuck out, no harm, no foul, or I'll lay there with my eyes closed for a while. And then this random ass thought just pops into my head that I can't let go.
Yeah, can't let it go.
Like my most recent one, it was like just completely out of nowhere. Kayla's asleep. I feel like I should be asleep. The thought pops in. I wonder how many Earth-like planets they've found. And I'm just like, I need to Google this right now. I'm tired, but I need the answer. And then I'll like go down a rabbit hole for a half hour, and then I'll like lay back down, and it's just like, I wonder how much a handgun costs. It's like just completely out of nowhere shit.
Really depends on the handgun. That's out of nowhere stuff. My stuff will be like very directed, job related. Like it'll be like I'll lay down. My eyes will close, I'll start to slip into sleep, and then my brain will be like, hey, what if we design a card game ground up based on that one system that you played once, but you twisted it that one way? And then from there, my brain just starts doing that. And I'm sitting there like, hey, maybe we should just sleep and think about this in the morning. Brain's like, no, it's in our head now. Let's just start building this thing. Let's just do it. And then all of a sudden, and God bless my Axiom partner, Marks, but he just gets messages at fucking 2 a.m. And they start with, I'm sorry I'm sending this to you late, but I have to put this somewhere so I don't forget it. What if? And then it's just like 17 paragraphs of like an idea for something. All right.